Welcome to the Health Coach University Zoom call. Today's going to be about marketing plan. We're going to go over everything about what it is that Herbalife entails as far as the compensation payout that the company gives us as Herbalife members. So thank you guys for connecting on the call. We're going to be doing some PowerPoint presentations here. So let's go ahead and get started, guys, with our training today. So, and like I said, for those of you guys that are plugging in, if you guys can make sure you guys keep your Zoom call on mute, that would be awesome. So that way you don't try to keep the noises down as much as possible. So, number one thing, guys, as far as the marketing plan, as far as Herbalife, here it is, right? 3 things that you need to bring to the table, all right? And when I say you, I'm talking somebody who's entering the business. One of the best things about Herbalife, in my personal opinion, is that when somebody enters the business, all of us, each of us, get a sponsor and we get a mentor. All right. The question is, are you going to be yourself? Are you going to allow yourself to be teachable? Okay. And that's something that I really want you guys to kind of understand. Right. We need to remain students in this business, because it doesn't matter what level you guys are at, guys. I'm a Millionaire Team member, and you guys are going to see what that represents. I'm still learning, right? I'm still learning, and today I am more hungry to learn than I was when I first started, as crazy as that sounds, right? Because I really didn't understand why it was so important to be specific with what it is that you want to get, right? So question number 1 here, it says, set your income goals, be specific, right? How much money are you looking to make when you get started on this business? And this is something that's going to be changing over time, right? Number 2, set your time to reach that income. Set your time to reach that income, right? I look at this like kind of like shooting darts or shooting a bow and arrow, right? You can have a bow and arrow, but if you really don't have a target, really what are you doing, right? Really, what are you doing? You have to have a target in front of you in order for that bow and arrow to be effective for what the intention was. Does that make sense? Right? So this is something that you guys got to bring to your mentor and let them know, hey, this is what I want to make, and this is how by when I want to make it, so we can start to work a plan in that format, right? Number 3, create your why. If the reason is big enough, the how doesn't matter, guys. And this is so true. This is so absolutely true, right? So your position determines your income. Okay, your position determines your income. Now, when I saw this ladder, okay, all I was looking to make, guys, was $500 a month. And if you can find $500 a month, okay, it happens to fall right where supervisor's at. So guess what I did my very first month in this business? I became a supervisor, because I was looking from the very beginning. I got asked those questions, how much money you want to make? And I said, I want to make an extra $500. They said, why? I said, so I can pay off my student loan faster. At that time, I was working a job, right? I was working construction, 40 hours a week, just like anybody else. But I wasn't making enough money in order for me to have money to be able to pay off my student loans faster. So that was really my first intention, So take a look at this chart, guys, and figure out like how much money you want to make and what position that coincides. Because it's important to understand how much money you need a month. And it's important to understand what position you need to get to in order to make that type of income every single month. Because it's kind of hard to make $3,000-$4,000. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying it's a little bit more difficult. $3,000-$4,000 if you're just at the supervisor level, compared to being at the Get Team level. Okay, you're almost guaranteed that you're going to make that type of money. So why not go for the guarantee, right? But you got to know where that pin or where that income falls. Okay, so let's talk about the first thing, and I'm going to give you guys some lingo that I use when I get somebody started. Okay, today I actually signed up somebody in Kansas City over the phone. It took me 40 minutes to sign her up, walk her through her website and everything. But one of the things, guys, and here it goes, okay? One of the things that I tell people when I get them registered or when I'm talking to somebody, there's a couple of key things that I've learned to say to get the fear out of the way or get the doubt out of the way when I start working with somebody, right? So let's talk about, first of all, about, the benefits of being a distributor, right, guys? So why do you want to sign up? Why do you want to become a distributor? Benefit number one, okay? Benefit number one, you get licensed and registered with the company. You get licensed and registered with the company, okay? Benefit number two, you automatically start to get a 25 up to a 50% discount on the products that you order company direct. The other benefit is that you're not obligated to do anything. You don't have to buy, you don't have to sell, you don't have to order. There's no monthly quota, okay? You just have the freedom to be able to order company direct. So for example, let's say a client wants to get some product, or one of your friends, because they're signed to see results, okay? Right, so you get a, since you're already a member or a distributor, the cost to you for a program that costs $100, the cost to you is gonna be 75 bucks. You're gonna save yourself $25. So what does that mean? Let's say you order a program that costs $100, okay? You sell that program to your friend, well, you pay $75, he pays you $100, you recover your investment, and on top of that, you make an additional $25. That's how simple this works, right? That's how simple this works, right? Next step up, senior consultant, okay? How do you get a bigger discount, right? The way you get a bigger discount is by ordering 500 volume points in a single month. Now, this is something that you guys need to know. Everything in Herbalife works in calendar months, from the first of the month to the end of the month, not 30-day rolling. So, right? So right now, you know, we are what? What's today's date? September 20th. So however many days are left in September, that's going to be your month if you guys are getting started right now. So let's say somebody signs up today, the 20th, and tomorrow on the 21st, they do a 500 volume point order, where they're going to get that order at a 35% discount, right? Or they can do small orders, and as soon as they reach 500 volume points, the order after that is going to come in at a 35% discount. The benefits is, guys, that you get locked in at a 35% discount. Okay? A client now, right? Let's say the same friend wants to buy the products that cost $100. Well, now you're going to buy them for $65. You sell it for $100, you recover your investment, and on top of that, you make 35% profit. Okay? Not that hard, right? Success Builder order, okay? A Success Builder order, this is a one-time order that you can do, okay, that the company allows you to do to order $1,000 or 1,000 volume points worth of products, and you're going to get that full order at a 42% discount, okay? But we got a little bit of noise, guys. So for those of you guys that are, you know, if you guys can mute your, mute all here. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay. So, so how else can you get to 42%, right? For every time that you guys place orders to the company, those volume points count, right? So if you do 2,500 volume points in a one month to 3 month window, you're going to get locked in at a 42% profit. Now, the reason I have it written here locked in, because if you do a Success Builder order, which is a one-time 1,000 volume point order, you're going to get that order at 42% discount. And that 42% is going to remain for the rest of the month. Starting the following month, you're going to drop down to 35%, right? But if you keep doing your deal, doing the job, and as soon as you hit 2,500 volume points in 1 to 3 months, you're going to get locked in at 42%, right? The cool thing about that, now you're at 42%, same thing, your friend, same friend, wants to buy the product that cost $100. But now, since you're a qualified producer, the cost to you now is going to be $58, okay? You sell it for $100, you recover your investment, and on top of that, you make 42% profit, okay? Which is very, very cool. And that's something that we need to understand, because, you know, when I came into business, I was trying to get as much, you know, the biggest bang for the buck. So I started off as a Success Builder order, right? But really where you want to get to, guys, and this is, write this down, this is the gateway to infinite money. This is the gateway to infinite money. All right? This is what everybody always talked about. This is what I used to hear. You want to get the supervisor because this is the gateway to infinite money. Because take a look at how many ways you can make money as a supervisor. Number one, retail, right? Okay, and then we're going to talk about how you get here. Number two, wholesale profit. That's another stream of income, right? Anywhere between 8 to 25%, and you guys are going to see this in the upcoming slides. Number three, now you're eligible to start making royalties. Number four, you're eligible to start getting monthly bonuses from 2 to 7%. Number five, as a supervisor, you're eligible to qualify for the vacations that the company launches each and every single year, right? And number six, annual bonus. Last year, the company paid over $70 million in annual bonus, okay? So how do you get to supervisor, right? Very simple, 4,000 volume points, guys. 4,000 volume points. And you can choose to go fast, okay? You can choose to go medium fast, or you can choose to go at your pace. The fact of the matter is that we all need to do 4,000 volume points, but you can choose to do 4,000 volume points in a single calendar month, or you can do 4,000 volume points 2 consecutive months, 2 months in a row, right? You can do 2,000 and 2,000, there's your 4, now you're a supervisor. Or you can do 1,000 the first month, 3,000 the second month, well, that equals 4, now you're a supervisor, right? However combination you want to do, but the fact of the matter is we need to do 4,000 volume points, right? But look at all the benefits that we get once we become a supervisor, okay? So let's talk about number 3, the royalties. What does that mean? What does that look like? Because this is the name of the game, guys. The name of the game is royalties, right? The name of the game in this business is royalties. So why are royalties so important? Because think about it. Let's say this is you at 50%, okay? And you sign up this person who's, we're going to say this is your front line or your first line, and this person signs up this person, and this person signs up this person. Now they all get to the supervisor position. Now you're at 50% and they're at 50%, right? So what's the benefit to you to keep training these guys, right? Keep training this person, keep training this person, keep training this person. The benefit is that the company's going to pay you 5% on whatever production these guys they start doing, which is very important because, right, this guy, for example, this guy does $5,000 worth of business or 5,000 volume points, and the second level supervisor does 5,000 volume points, and the third level supervisor does 10,000 volume points. You add all this together, well, that equals 20,000 volume points. 5% of 20,000, that's $1,000 royalties, or $1,000 that the company is going to pay you for the work that these people did, right? That these people did. Now, if you're a Get Team member, you get an additional 2% bonus. So that's an additional $400 on top of that. So altogether for that month, just by having these 3 people be at supervisor, just by having these 3 people be active, right, you could potentially make $1,400, okay, which is very, very cool. And why is it important to understand that really the name of the game is royalties, guys? Because take a look at this next slide, okay? Duplication income. If you get 2 people, right, you learn the business, and then you teach 2 other people how to start doing the business, and these 2 people teach 2 other people, and these 2 other people teach 2 other people, right? And your first, second, and third level, you would be generating that much volume, right? So 2 people doing 2,500, well, that's 5,000 volume points. And your second level, you're averaging, with 4 people, everybody doing 2,500, well, that's 10,000 volume points, right? And if you have, 8 people, and your third level doing 2,500, well, that's 20,000. Altogether, your business would be generating $35,000 of business. 5% of $35,000 is $1,750. Now think about this, guys, because this is what got me excited in the beginning. I'm like, I can make $1,700 for teaching people how to take the product to the market. Because that's what it's about. Teaching people how to take the product to the market. Because if I teach somebody how to take the product to the market and they're making money, okay, the company's going to keep paying me every single month by teaching these people how to stay productive. And that's what this business is about, teaching people how to stay productive. Now, if you're a Get Team member, right, you get an additional 2% production bonus. That's an extra $700 on top of that. You could potentially be making $2,450 by teaching people how to take the product to the marketplace. But what if it's 3, right? What if you got, what happened here? What if you got 3 people doing this? 3 who teach 3 who teach 3. Take a look at the jump in the income, guys. Now we went by adding just 1 more person. By adding, instead of 2, you teach 3, and these 3 teach 3 more, and these 3 more teach 3 more. You got 3 people in the front line. You have 9 people in the second line, and you have 27 people in the third line. All of them taking product to the marketplace. Your business will be generating $97,000 worth of business, and 5% of that is $4,875 that the company would be paying you. But when you get over 80,000, the company actually bumps you up to 4% production bonus. So take a look at this. This is crazy. You're going from $700 production bonus now to $3,900. You're going from $2,450 to now $8,775. But what if you got 5 people doing this? 5 who teach 5 who teach 5. You have 5 people in your front line. You have 25 people in your second line, and you have 125 people in your third line. Altogether, your business is now generating $387,000 worth of business on a monthly basis. 5% of that is a check of $19,375. And then you get a production bonus, which is now 6%. Okay, you're getting an additional $23,000 for that same volume. Altogether, you would be making $42,000. Now, what could you possibly do with $42,000 each and every single month for the rest of your life, guys?
Whatever I want.
Whatever the heck you want. That's right. So the question that I was told, and the question I'm going to ask you guys, okay? What if you learn how to do this business? What if you say, you know what? I'm going to go to every meeting. I'm going to get on every Zoom call. I'm going to understand how to do this business, and I'm going to show people how to take these products to the marketplace. I'm going to help these people put money in their pocket. And the company is going to pay me for teaching these people how to take the product to the marketplace, because that's what it's about, guys. People helping people. It's not about slinging people, like throwing people against the wall, seeing if they stick. Or it's not about just bringing people to the training and see if they're going to learn something. No, we got to do all that. But at the end of the day, we got to take personal responsibility to teach these people that we're personally invited into the business to understand how this goes. But if you understand the marketing plan, guys, if you really understand the duplication process of it, trust me, you're going to be willing to work with anybody, even if personas don't match with you sometimes, right? But I understand that my whole job is to teach somebody how to take product to the marketplace, okay? Because this is what I want to do, all right? But let's talk a little bit more in advance as far as, what happens once you become a supervisor, okay? So let's talk a little bit more in depth as where'd it go? I already showed this one. Here we go, okay? So leveraging your time, guys. Leveraging your time, okay? What happens once you become a supervisor, okay? Well, now what you want to do, you want to start duplicating yourselves, okay? You want to start duplicating yourself. So if you understand about leveraging your time, I'm going to skip this slide real quick because this doesn't really apply right now, okay? So one of the things that we must understand the lingo of Herbalife, okay? Understand the lingo of Herbalife, guys. And what I mean is you need to understand what volume points represent. You need to understand what personal purchase volume points represent. So let's talk about these things, okay? So volume points. Everything in Herbalife is about volume points. This is the Herbalife currency. And the reason why Herbalife uses volume points is because since we're in 96 countries already, okay, this company was in 17 countries when I came in. Now it's in 96 countries, guys. It's crazy how many countries we're in. And for me, this just gives me confidence because there's no way that 96 governments are going to allow a product that quote unquote harms people. That's not going to happen. But sometimes we get people that tell you, oh, I heard that products kill or that they harm people. Come on, guys. I mean, please, for those of you guys that are already in the business, I mean, God, 96 countries? Do you honestly think 96 governments, 96 doctors from each and every single country will allow a product to come and damage their, their population? The answer is no. So this is just straight confidence. But the volume points are made this way. So one volume point in the United States is the same volume point in Mexico, the same volume point in Japan, or wherever you want to start doing business. Personal purchase volume points, or PPV. What this represents, every time you personally order product to the company, it's categorized as personally purchased volume points. Downline volume points. Downline volume points, guys, this is you, and you sign up a member who's not a supervisor yet, and this person is ordering products to the company, okay? This volume point, this is called downline volume, which also counts for you, okay? Now, organizational volume points, guys. What's the difference between downline volume? Downline volume is non-supervisors. Organizational volume point means that you're a supervisor, and now this person is a supervisor. So all the volume point that this person orders, or this person orders, or this person orders, first, second, or third line, this is your organizational volume points. And organizational volume points is what gives us the royalty check, right? In royalties, we can earn up to 5% on our organizational volume. Production bonus, okay? Production bonus. The 2%, the 4%, and the 6%, you guys will see that in some upcoming slides. And also the Mark Hughes bonus awards, 1% annual bonus. You guys are going to see that in the upcoming slides. But the first 4-1, guys, this is something that you need to understand the difference between personal volume, or total volume. Total volume is a representation of personal volume and downline volume. Organizational volume is what pays us the royalty checks. All right. So let's once again, let's understand royalties, guys. Okay. So I'm going to take my time on this because this is something that we need to understand, because you could be leaving a lot of money on the table if you really don't understand how the royalties get paid out. So you can earn up to 5% royalties 3 levels deep. So first level, second level, third level. So it doesn't matter, okay, guys, if you signed them up or this person, you're getting these people. For me, represent the exact same thing. I need to teach these 3 first, second, and third level how to do the business because I'm getting paid exactly the same, right? So now watch this. So for every 500 volume points you do, you get 1% royalty, okay? So here's an example. If you just order 500 volume points, guys, you order just 500 volume points, and your first, second, and third level supervisors are doing this much volume, which is 20,000, okay? If you only did 500 volume points, you're only going to get paid 1% of that 20,000. So that would only be $200 that you would get paid. If you do 1,000 volume points, you would get paid 2%, which would be $400. But if you do all 2,500 volume points, you would get the full 5%. Okay? So I really want you guys to write this down, okay? So 500 volume points equals 1%. 1,000 volume points to 1,499 volume points, that's going to pay you 2%. 1,500 volume points to 1,999 is going to pay you 3% royalties. 2,000 to 2,499 volume points, that's going to pay you 4%. And 2,500 volume points or more will pay you the full 5% royalties. This is important to know because sometimes a lot of people don't do volume and they're losing on the organizational volume or the supervisors that they have in the organization that are going and blowing, and they're not getting paid. So it's important to understand, okay, that we must do the work in order for us to get paid from our organization, okay? So moving ahead, World Team, okay? World Team, farthest you can go alone, all right? 3 different ways to qualify to World Team. First way you can qualify to World Team, this is the most common today, is being consistent. 2,500 volume points, okay? And you do that in 4 consecutive months, and you qualify yourself to World Team, right? Second way you can qualify yourself to World Team is to do 10,000 volume points in a single calendar month. This was the only way that we could get to World Team when I started 15 years ago, right? But today we have 3 options, which is extraordinary. And the third way of doing it is to get a 500 royalty check in 1 calendar month, all right? Which means that this is you, and now you have supervisors that are doing the business. And if your supervisors underneath do $10,000 of business, okay, and if you did 2,500, well, the company's going to pay you 5% of the 10,000, which is $500, which that would qualify you to World Team. Benefits of becoming a World Team, guys, okay? Extra training and recognition. For us here in Fresno, World Team is our leadership position. Now you start coming to the meetings. Now you get, tapped into the World Team and Tab Team meetings that we have. Now you become part of this decision making, here in our local area. So World Team is a very important position, but this is as far as you can go alone. What does it mean? That you don't have to recruit. You can just do volume and you can get here all by yourself. But you're not going to move forward unless you start to build a team, right? Next level, active World Team, guys. Active World Team. What does active World Team mean? That you do all 3 ways to qualify to World Team in a 4 to 6 month period, right? So you have up to 6 months to do what? 2,500 volume points, 4 consecutive months. You cannot miss a month, right? You got to do it 4 consecutive months, okay? But you have 6 months to do all 3 things that we're about to talk about. Number 2, 10,000 volume points in a single month, okay? And number 3, 500 royalties in 1 month, which means that you have to start to develop a group. The benefits of becoming an active World Team, guys, is that you get extra training and recognition, but the best one is this one right here, guys. $500 bonus that the company pays you for reaching this position. The other cool thing is that 98% retention rate for people that get to active World Team, right? 98%, which is huge, meaning that if you want people to be around in this business forever, help them get to active World Team, right? Because this is one thing that I want you guys to write down, guys. If you learn how to get to active World Team, now you have the roadmap to get to President's Team. Now you have the roadmap because you've learned how to retail by doing 2,500 volume points 4 consecutive months. You've learned how to recruit because now you're doing 10,000 volume points in 1 single month. And now you're learning to teach because now you're generating 500 royalties from your organizational volume, right? So what's the next step? Global expansion team. How do you get to global expansion team? Is that you got to have a 1,000 royalty check in 3 consecutive months, right? A 1,000 check. Other ways of saying it, first level, second level, third level, as many as you want, are doing $20,000 worth of business. 5% of 20,000 is $1,000 that the company is going to pay you, which that's what those $1,000 that represents here. So in order for people that get to Get Team, they got to do 20,000 volume points 3 consecutive months, which means their organization, their group, okay? Not you personally, your group. Once you do that 3 consecutive months, now you're qualified to a global expansion team. The benefits, extra trainings and recognition. Now you're eligible to start getting paid 2% monthly production bonus, which is awesome, right? But a global expansion team, guys, they need to do 5,000 volume points to qualify for their production bonus each month. They are no longer doing just 2,500. Now they got to do 5,000 volume points if they want to qualify for the world production team, for the production bonus. I'm sorry. Okay. So this is another way of illustrating it, how it looks, right? So you as a Get Team, you're doing 5,000 volume points. You have, your first level that's doing 12,000 volume points. Your second level is doing 5,000 volume points. Your third level is doing 3,000 volume points. That's 8 supervisors doing 2,500 volume points each, which is 20,000 organizational volume. Okay, 5% of that, there's your $1,000 right there that the company is going to pay you. But now since you're a Get Team member, now the company is going to pay you an additional 2% production bonus, which is an additional $400. Guys, think about your job, okay? This $400, what it means is that you just got a 40% raise on your paycheck for doing the exact same work. right, for doing the exact same work. So altogether, you could potentially be making $1,400 just because you taught these guys how to start taking the product out to the marketplace, plus whatever it is that you retailed or sold. Does that make sense? On average, a Get Team member, okay, gets to Get Team between 18 months to 24-month period. Okay, an average Get Team, guys, makes around between $28,000 to $35,000 a year. All right, that's career level income to begin, and then it just goes up from there, right? Millionaire Team member, guys, this is where I'm at. Okay, how did I get to Millionaire Team? Well, I had to build up my organization to do 4,000 royalty points in 3 consecutive months. What does that mean? That your business is doing over 80,000 volume points a month, and if you do that in 12 months, that equals $1 million. That's the reason why it's called Millionaire Team. Because a Millionaire Team really has $1 million business. They're doing over $1 million worth of business a year. The cool thing about being a Millionaire Team, guys, that now our monthly production bonus goes up another 40%. So now we get paid 4%, not 4%. A Millionaire Team, all we have to do is 3,000 volume points to qualify for a production bonus each month. A Get Team has to do 5. A Millionaire Team just has to do 3,000. Right? But we get paid for production. The reason why the volume starts to come down, because now we have more responsibility to go out and work with more supervisors. So the company wants you to go out and keep teaching the supervisors, and they understand that your personal volume is probably not going to be as high as before, right? So this is another illustration of what it looks like, right? So first line is doing 27,000 volume points. Second line is doing 27,000 volume points. Third line is doing 26,000 volume points. What we're talking about is that you have 32 supervisors, okay, because that's all it takes, being active, doing 2,500 volume points. That's going to give you $80,000 of business. 5% of that, well, there's your 4,000. But now we get paid an additional 4% on that 80,000. So 4% of that 80,000 as well. That's an additional $3,200. Altogether, $7,200 that Millionaires Team start to make, and that's just the start. And it starts to go up from there, right? Which is great. Okay, but there's even better. Okay, President's Team. What is a President's Team, guys? So when you guys see somebody at a training that has a President's Team pin, what that means is that person has a business that now generates $10,000 in royalties. Okay, right? So what does that mean? What's 10,000? $200,000 of business in their first, second, and third level. Their first, second, and third level, they're doing $200,000 of business. They're supervisors. All right. So that person is going to get paid, right, $10,000, and once they do that 3 consecutive months, well, they qualify to Press Team. And this is a big deal. Press Team is a huge deal, because now we're talking red carpet. Now we're talking, just amazing lifestyle. That's all I can say, right? But the other cool thing is that now you get, again, an additional 40% increase on your paycheck. So now you're getting paid 6% on your monthly production bonus. President's Teams, the only thing that they got to do, now they just have to be an active supervisor, guys. 2,500 volume points, and they qualify for the royalties, and they qualify for their production bonus. How cool is that, right? So, when you get the Press Team, I mean, you really are, here's what it looks like. Okay, I'm getting excited already, right? So you're active. You're doing your 2,500. You taught your front line how to be active, how to take product to the marketplace. They're doing 30,000. They duplicate, right? In your second line, you got 60,000 volume points. They duplicate. On your third line, you got 110,000 volume points. Altogether, you have 80 supervisors being active, doing 2,500 volume points. Well, that represents $200,000 of business. 5% of that, well, there's the 10,000. And then you get paid 6% on that, also on that 200. Well, that's an additional $12,000. Altogether, $22,000 that a President's Team makes. And that's starting, guys. And it just goes up from there. Okay? So let's talk about what happens beyond President's Team. Okay? Promotions are broken into 2 categories, guys. They're broken down into royalty amounts 15K, 20K, 30K, etc. And they're also, and the number two, they're broken down into number of President's Team lines from 1 to 4 diamonds, Chairman's Club, and Founder Circle. Okay, so let's talk about the 15K. What's a 15K? Basically, they're President's Team already. They're still working, but now their organization is doing 300,000 instead of 200,000. Once they reach 300,000, well, now they become a 15K President's Team member. 15K President's Team member, guys, if you're married, the women get diamond earrings with the Herbalife leaf, and the guys get cufflinks, diamond cufflinks for their shirts because they reach the 15K President's Team. But not only that, I mean, look at the income now that they're making, over $33,000, right? And then there's a 20K Press Team. The difference in the 20K Press Team, it basically means that now they become President's Team twice, because to become President's Team, you got to do 200,000. But a 20K President's Team is doing $400,000 of business in their first, second, and third level. Always in their first, second, and third level. Royalties always get paid in your first, second, and third level. So learn to develop first, second, and third levels as fast as possible, right? 5% of 400,000. Well, there's your 20,000. But here's the interesting thing: when somebody gets to 20K, the company gives them an additional 0.5%. 0.5%, guys. So look at the production bonus now. Now it's $26,000, $46,000 each and every single month. Right? That's absolutely nuts. I mean, it's a lot of money, guys. And that's the cool thing about Herbalife. There's no limit. The question is, how fast can you duplicate and how many people can you get going? Okay. Third one, the 30K Press Team, right? 30K Press Team. What's it mean? They become Press Team 3 times, right? Now you got $600,000 of business being done in your first, second, and third level. 5% royalties of that is $30,000. But look at, once again, the company pays them an additional 0.25. So, you know, President's Team gets 6%. 30K Press Team gets paid 6.75%. Look at the production bonus, $40,000. Altogether, $70,000+, guys. So when you guys see somebody at the event with a 30K Press Team pin, that's what this means. That's what this represents, right? Some serious business going on, right? 50K Press Team, right? Enrique Carrillo, which many of you guys know, he's at this level. Take a look at this. A 50K Press Team means that they're doing $1 million of business in their first, second, and third level, right? $1 million. 5% of that is $50,000 in royalty overrides. But a 50K, once again, get a raise. Now they're not getting paid 6% or 6.25 or 6.5 or 6.75. Now they're getting paid 7% production bonus. $70,000 additional. Altogether over $120,000 a month, guys. So the question is, how much of the piece of the pie do you want? How much are you willing to do? With how many people are you willing to work with? Because some people have a vision and some people have, have a very long vision. The question is, what do you want? When I first started, all I wanted to do was make $500, and then it just started to escalate. Last month, this company paid us over $15,000. And trust me, guys, I'm grateful, but I know I can do more. And all I have to do is just keep doing the exact same thing that I've been doing all these years. Talking to people, getting people on the product, help them get results, showing them about the membership, showing how they can help others, right? And eventually they start to climb up the ladder. Eventually they become supervisors. Now I'm getting paid royalties on these guys. So it's a process, but you got to understand, what the marketing plan entails. So let's talk about the diamonds, okay? What the diamonds represent, all right? So when you see somebody has a pin with the single diamond underneath, what that means is that person has a person who has a President's Team in one of the lines, right? So let's say this is you and you have a press team, right? Well, now you're going to get a single diamond because you have a press team. But take a look at this guy. This guy also has a press team underneath him, so he's also going to get that one diamond pin, right? But this guy who's a President's Team, his front line, is a Millionaire Team member. So once this guy becomes a press team, he's also going to become a 1 diamond press team, right? So one diamond press team, that means that it's in a single line, okay? Next one, okay? A senior executive press team or a two pin or two diamond press team means that they have two different press teams in two different lines, right? In two different lines. Next one, okay? International executive press team means that they have three diamonds in three different lines, okay? Chief executive president's team, when they have four press team in four different lines, that's when they become a chief executive press team, that they have four different lines that now in those lines have at least one president's team, right? Which is very, very cool. And then Chairman's Club, where happens to be my sponsor, is a Chairman's Club member. What does that mean? That he's got 5 lines of press teams in different branches, right? My father's first president's team was actually a 6 line. His first president's team was 6 line deep, right? And then all the other ones started to come up, and today I think he's a 7 diamond press team, I believe. He's got 7 press teams and in 7 different lines, right? So whenever I get the press team, hopefully soon, okay, I would be the 8th diamond for him. All right, which is very, very cool. But Chairman's Club member, guys, that's what that means, that they have 5 different press team in 5 different lines, okay? And Founder Circle, this is Jerry Satanovich, Leslie Stanford, Susan Peterson, a bunch of other people, right? What that means that they have set 10 different lines that now have at least one president's team in that line. Absolutely ridiculous, okay? I can't even fathom how much money they must make, okay? But I'm sure it's nice. Okay, I'm sure it's nice. So this is the marketing plan, guys. This is basically, the simplicity of the marketing plan and understanding really, what is it that you want. So going back to the beginning of the marketing plan, you got to be specific about your goals, guys. You got to be specific as far as what is it that you want out of the marketing plan, okay? How much money are you looking to make? Okay, because once you understand, like, okay, well, you know what? If I can make $3,500, trust me, we can set up a plan to get you to that level. I know that $3,500, all I got to do is get you to Get Team, right? If somebody says, you know what, Eric, I need to make $10,000 a month. Well, you know what? Then you definitely got to get to Millionaire Team in order to make that money. Hey, Eric, I need to make $20,000 a month. Well, then you definitely got to get the press team, because that's where you're going to get paid that type of money. So depending on the income, depending on the pin. The pin gives you the income, right? But we got to understand how all this works. So let's go ahead and take some questions and answers, guys. If anybody has any questions, everybody's muted right now. So if you have a question, please go ahead and unmute yourself, and let's hear some questions. Go ahead and unmute yourself if you guys have any questions, guys. Or go ahead and put it on the chat if anybody has any questions. Nobody has a question?
Yeah, Eric.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
What did you just see?
That was a lot to take in. No, it was good and everything, but
I do apologize. It's a lot to take in.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in, but it's always good to have a visual of it the way you have it set up. It's a lot more simpler than I've seen it in different other ways. Okay. So I really like that aspect of that. Just I just want to recognize you on that aspect, right?
Okay, thank you, Roy. Does anybody have a question as far as the marketing plan, guys? Yes, no, maybe so. Cool. Let's see, we got a question from Gabi. How many people do I need to get to become a Get Team? Supervisors, Gabi, what I've learned, if you want to get to Get Team, 12 to 14. 12 to 14 supervisors in your first, second, or third line. When somebody has, around those numbers, it's almost a guarantee that they're going to get to Get Team, right? You could say you can have only 8, but now you're banking that all 8 of them are doing active, that they're all doing 2,500 volume points. But for my personal experience of helping my organization get to Get Team, the magic numbers are always between 12 and 14 supervisors in your first, second, and third line. So thank you for asking that question. No other questions? Yeah, Veronica?
You might have to unmute her.
Yeah. There we go.
I think she put it in the
We can hear you now.
Okay, thank you. Eric, I just have a question. What is the difference between the organizational volume point and what is it? Forgot. And the organizational and the downline.
Downline? Okay,
Yeah.
let's let me see if I can go back to that slide. I think I close it out. Okay, no problem. So organizational volume points, guys. Okay, so the organization and downline. Okay, so let's start with downline volume first. Okay. Downline. Let me. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to mute. Okay. So downline volume. Let's start with downline volume. Downline volume means that this is you, okay, and that you have a member, somebody who's not at 50%, somebody who's not at supervisor. So every time that member, who could be at 25% or 35% or 42%, every time that member orders product to the company, that's called downline volume. Now, the cool thing about that volume, Veronica, is that also counts for you, okay, and it becomes total volume. So, for example, let's say you got 1,000 volume points that you've personally ordered to the company, but you have a member, and this member says, you know what, Veronica, I want to become a senior consultant, and he orders 500 volume points, right? Well, now you have 1,000, and this person ordered 500. Now in the system, it's gonna show total volume 1,500 volume points for Veronica, because your downline volume counts for total volume for you. That volume counts for you. Okay, let me put it to you in another way. This is you, and you sign up 5 members, and each member does 500, 500, 500, 500, 500, right? Well, 500 times 5, that's 2,500 volume points. So you're going to have 2,500 volume points even though you haven't ordered any volume points yourself. Okay? So downline volume is all the volume you get from your members. Now, organizational volume is the volume that you get from your supervisors. Okay? From your supervisors. So now this is you. You have first, second, and third line supervisors. Okay? So, right, let's say this front line, whatever volume that they do, you no longer get volume from that. Now you're just going to get paid royalties from your supervisors. But their volume no longer counts for you. Okay? So this guy does volume, that person does volume, that person does volume. The company's going to pay you, royalties on your first, second, and third line. And this, with your supervisors, that's what's called organizational volume, right? Compared to downline volume. Does that answer your question? Right. Another thing, guys, that I would highly recommend is for you guys to take a look at manual number 1 to manual number 4. Also, go into myherbalife.com, guys. Okay. If you guys scroll down, once you guys log in on your homepage, you guys will see something that says sales and marketing plan. If you guys click on that, it'll lead you to the presentation I was currently showing you guys. It's on the website. Okay. It's on the website. And this is something that, like I said, also, another cool thing of doing, guys, HBN, Herbalife Broadcasting Network, okay? All the videos, you can hear Leslie and John Tardo explain the marketing plan. All those videos in the library are on there. Check that out. I mean, this is something that no longer everybody talks about anymore, but there's so much videos, Mark Hughes, Jim Rome, all the, what I call the dinosaur distributors, Leslie Stanford, all these people that, that are the foundation of this company. All the videos are on that HBN library, Herbalife Broadcasting Network. All right. What's it say here? What if they don't do 2,500 and they do less? I'll be 12K. Okay. I don't understand that question, Gabriela. Can you rephrase the question, Gabi? I don't understand that question. Okay. And let's take a couple of more questions before we jump off, guys. Anybody have any other questions?
In order to collect the royalties, you have to maintain the 2,500 volume points, correct?
Correct, Chris. In order to collect all 5%, right? Because like I said, if you have, like, let's say, Chris, this is you and you got first, second, and third line, and these guys are doing $20,000 in business, and you don't order any volume, well, you're not gonna get paid. You won't get paid. That check is going to roll up. They're called roll-ups. Okay. which is something that we need to discuss later on, right? But let's say you got supervisors and they do $20,000 of business, okay, but you only do 500, you're only going to get paid 1% of that. Okay, let's jump to the Elmo because I think I need to write this down. Let me turn this Elmo on. Okay, can you guys see that? Oh, this thing's going crazy. What's the deal? Ooh, autofocus. Okay, try this again. All right. Stop share. Let me see. You guys see that? All right. All right. Share. You guys see that? You guys see the album?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Chris. So let's answer your question. Okay. So on the royalties, focus light. Okay. So if you do 500 volume points, okay, you're going to be eligible to collect 1%. Okay. So I'm sorry. Let me start all over. Okay. You do 0 volume to 499 volume points, you're going to get paid 0% royalties. Okay. If you do 500 all the way up to 999, you're going to be eligible to collect 1%. If you do 1,000 to 1,499, you're going to be eligible to collect 2% royalties. And I'm talking, this is the volume that points that you do, right? Your total volume. If you do 1,500 all the way up to 1,999, you're going to get paid 3%. If you do 2,000 all the way up to 2,499, you're going to be eligible to get paid 4%. And if you do 2,500 volume points plus, you're going to be eligible to collect all 5% royalties. So it's important to understand how much volume points you're doing, right? You always want to be doing 2,500 so you can collect all of it. But there's some people sometimes that don't understand, like, well, you know, I'm not doing that well in the business. Well, you may not be doing that well in the business, but how's your organizational doing, right? So this is something that you guys got to understand. Mark Hughes designed this company, and he always said, he who does the work gets the pay, right? Because if, you know, Chris, if you just sign up a lot of people and they're going and blowing and you're just sitting at home not doing anything, the company's not going to pay you. The company wants you to stay active. The company wants you to, you know, to be an active supervisor, to be an active participant, right? Does this answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Thanks for asking that question, by the way.
Eric.
Yes.
On that example right there, does the difference roll up? So if I only connect 2%, does 3% roll up to you?
Yes, it does. Thank you very much. Yes, it does, and it just keeps rolling up. The system will keep that money will keep rolling up until it finds 2,500 volume points. So when somebody doesn't do the business, right? So if I sign up this person who signs up this person who signs up this person, but this person is not active, okay? But I'm working with 2 and 3, but 3 also signs up this person. Well, you know, this person's not going to get paid, but I'm going to get paid on 2nd, 3rd, and 4th because that's my 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. This is a little bit more complicated. What I'm trying to say is understand the power of doing your work first and foremost, okay? That's what I always talk about when I talk about the Health Coach University, the first call, the second call, master retail. Learn how to take these products out to the marketplace, because how are you going to build a business if you don't understand that really what we're doing, we're just teaching people how to take the product out to the marketplace. And once you learn how to do that, you can start teaching massively, right? Everybody making money, nobody leaves the business, guys. People leave the business because either they're not making money, okay, or they're being mistreated. Nobody leaves the business when they're making money. Trust me, they don't. But we have to understand how the business gets unfolded, right? So let's take one more question before we wrap it up for tonight, guys. So we've got the final question for tonight. No more questions? Okay. So, well, let's stop it here, guys.